can get to the party, if I put it that way, if that's motivation. Is this everybody we have after lunch? All right, so just to wrap up what we've done so far today, we are just going to touch base with the two groups that had those parallel sessions. And I know it might be a bit difficult to stay awake after lunch. I know I'm battling a little bit after that. And thank you so much, guys, for a wonderful lunch. It was quite a spread. I didn't get to dessert because I knew that would mean trouble for me. So the two sessions, climate finance and youth innovations, those were the two that were happening at the same time a little earlier. We're just going to get very quick feedback. On the climate finance side, we've got Dr. Ma Amos back with us from the African Center for Green Economy, and for youth inclusivity, Nsikim Kize, also a social entrepreneur, author, founder of Meant Her as well, of which she was filling me in. She's doing some amazing work there as well. So let's just get straight to it. Doc, we'll start with you. When I popped into the climate finance session here, there were lots of talks about funding for the usual suspects, and that seems to be quite a problem. It's, again, a matter of not what you know, but who you know it comes across as. There was also talk about intermediaries of funders, the role and the use of those as well, and what we're struggling with here in South Africa and how we need to fix that. So just some general, I don't know if you have solutions or they were the beginning of solutions that came out of the sessions there.
Yeah, I think that one of the key things that we highlighted in our session is the idea that obviously there's lack of equity in access to opportunities and resources and so on. So then what tends to happen is that there are limited resources that are available and then go to essentially the usual suspects. And largely also because of lack of capacity. So many of those, whether it's geographies, communities and so on, that require some of this funding are unable to access some of this funding. And so that was really identified as a key challenge, that in addition to poor understanding of what climate finance is, how climate finance is flowing into the country, is actually not being equitably distributed across geographies, across gender, and especially across race. So how do we correct that anomaly? And one way to do that is by being very deliberate and looking at where are those gaps and how do we essentially channel resources to those locations where basically have fallen through the cracks in terms of funding allocation. That was one of the main things. And then from an intermediate institution perspective, my observation has been that working in the climate finance space is that you have this disjunct. At the higher level, there's quite a bit of resource flows, there's a lot of allocation, but this funding does not actually trickle down efficiently to where impact is required. So then what happens is that you get this gap where the funding is required, it does not arrive there, but at the same level, high level decision makers are making these pledges and so on, but it's not flowing efficiently. And we think one of the ways to solve that is by building a network of intermediary institutions that act as a bridge between these high level of flows where decisions are made and where funding is actually sitting, with connections on the ground where you have entrepreneurs and actors who are actually doing essentially the dirty work that requires funding, but they're not getting that funding.
Okay, all right, great. And just a reminder, if you have questions that you've been keeping and you've been wanting to ask, we'll give you a chance now in this session. And Siki, when I popped into the youth inclusive innovation section or discussion, they're very enthusiastic young people. But you had a task for them. They had to break up into groups. They had about 5 questions that they needed to discuss and talk about. So maybe you can take us through those very briefly. There were 5 questions, but amazing questions, and I think really things we need to start thinking about, or they need to start thinking about.
Yes, 100%. Hi, everybody, if I haven't chatted to you during lunch. So it was a really great session hearing from the young voices in the room, but also hearing what their views on potential solutions are. And I think overarchingly is the disconnect between saying that you are the future, come up with the solutions, but the ecosystem isn't really geared towards supporting that. So the 5 key questions that we looked at was firstly, what are some of the climate change and socioeconomic challenges faced by marginalized youth? And I think a lot of this is the same things you would assume as well. So issues around extreme weather conditions and not being able to plan around that, exclusion in planning and implementation, especially from what's happening from a government level within different communities. Things around housing, limited access, fulfilling that access to entrepreneurship, unemployment, health, pregnancy, drug use, illegal waste, the stuff that we all know, right? And interesting, the solutions that came out from this was job creation driven specifically by innovation and entrepreneurship, right? So being very specific around, these are the needs our communities have, This is where the gaps are. Therefore, let us support young people to create businesses that are geared around that, as well as building skills around those spaces as well, looking at land rehabilitation and the use and the management of that land, but also going, how do we teach young people to start businesses around that? And the second key question we focused on was, what's the youth experiencing in their various communities? And this was looking at rural as well as urban places. And flooding was one of the key things that came up, and how that inhibits people or young people from being able to go to school. Issues around access to finance or the delay in approvals for those funding. Transport also still being an issue, infrastructure still being an issue. And again, was a common theme around skills development, upgrading and maintaining infrastructure, and then the integration of early childhood development. So to say that, do we have ECD centers and then primary schools and high schools that are all aligned to making sure that we're producing young people that can be the creators of the solutions that we need to see for a changed Africa? Our third question was, can opportunities come from such harsh circumstances? And everyone in the room was like, yes, most definitely we can make a difference. And how we do that is valuing indigenous as well as modern knowledge and using that for solutions, creating new jobs, and those jobs being created around ideas that meet specific needs, creating closed loop ecosystems and food ecosystems as well that create entrepreneurship opportunities, having localized innovation. So if you are supporting and you're funding programs in certain areas, the innovation should be localized and the funding should consider what that community needs. And that building up around enterprises, pollution, waste, basically the sustainable development goals. Our fourth question was, how can we mobilize finance? And one of the things that was mentioned was the Youth Challenge Fund that was kickstarted by the Department of Small Business Development. So just to make sure that this is effectively and efficiently implemented, but to also look at other funds that are similar to that, to have localized donations, but also when we say we're financing entrepreneurship opportunities, to look at specifically what does this location need, what stage of business are these entrepreneurs in, and does the financing match, and do the requirements to access that finance match, right? So we have a lot of people saying we're here to support seed stage businesses, but the requirement is that you need to already be making 100,000 Rand in revenue, and that's just not feasible. And the last question was, what are some of the ideal programs and what would those look like? So for that was having funding for different stages of business. So if I just have an idea, I should be able to access money that allows me to test my idea and maybe fail, but I have a safe space to fail. Same for growth, your growth and your market and accelerator phases. And for that, they had said maybe 50,000 as a starter, 100,000, then 150K. And then the need for cross-border knowledge sharing. So being able to connect with other young people across the continent and globally to find out how are they addressing social issues, what are some of their business initiatives, and can we share knowledge that allows us to be in a far better position in order to be able to grow. And again, around that was the aspect of industry focus, local focus, and then introducing partnerships and mentorship to support in those spaces.
A lot for our young people to think about today, and that's only day one. Guys, it's still coming. Okay, I have a couple more questions, but if anybody has a question, we can open up the floor. Please raise your hand, and we'll try and get a microphone to you. Questions for either Nsiki or Dr. Amos, please just raise your hand if you do. Anyone? No? Okay, all right, let me go ahead with the ones I had. Dr. Amos, there was also talk about, and again, and like we said, it has to go down to the ground. It has to go down to with the people who live in these parts, and I talk about rural economies and rural areas, that this is where the message has to go. And there are wonderful ideas out there that people, they just don't know how to get across, and they live it every day. And it's something that needs to be bottled and sold to everybody, if I had to put it that way. What was the discussion around opportunities for investment in rural economies, and what was the sentiment that came out of those talks?
I think that this might actually be my own opinion, that there is a need to recognize that actually if you think about climate change adaptation, the real opportunity for adaptation lies in the rural economies, because it is in those rural economies where you have nature that is still in an intact position. So it's absolutely critical that we harness the rural economies and try and make sure that we create opportunities there. Because according to climate change predictions, by I think 2050, almost 80% of the global population is going to be living in cities, and essentially leaving rural communities in a ruin. We need to be able to reverse that trend, because what is happening is that we're moving vulnerability away from rural areas into our urban centers. Yet what we need to do is to build resilience in the rural economies or rural areas. And one of ways to do that is to ensure that we harness the local capacities and prioritize rural interventions, because ultimately that's where real change needs to happen.
And have we figured out the how?
Well, I always say that it's a learning by doing. You know, all this stuff we're talking about, climate finance, climate change, no one actually has the absolute correct answer to it. It's by innovating, by learning, by doing, I call it radical experimentation.
Yeah.
We need to fail and, you know, reiterate and fail and reiterate. And in entrepreneurship, it's called a lean startup approach, where, you know, you test an idea. If it works, you know, you scale it up. If it does not work, you go back to the drawing board and reiterate. So we need to create a culture of innovation, a culture of celebrating failure, because from failure you actually learn how to move forward.
And I think that's the thing that stops people from trying, is because often we think that, oh, my idea is so stupid, or my idea is so simple, but there isn't a stupid or simple idea, don't you think? I mean, that's what we need. And I think for the youth, and Siki, that's very important, because they might think, oh, but it can't be that easy. Sometimes the simplest of things are staring us in the face, and that could be the solution. And it was also very, very interesting to when you were talking to the groups to break up, and you said, remember, the person next to you probably comes or does come from a different background, does come from a different area. Did you see that? Did you actually see that in their, or did you hear it rather, in their interactions with one another, and what information was coming out of people and the person next to them? Did it show?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, I think I would firstly just say the youth do have ideas, right? The business ideas, the concepts, or the innovation is there. It's them bridging the gap to how do I go from innovation to market implementation, and where do I go to find the support for that? One of the things that came up in one of the conversations was a discussion around the youth having voice. So this idea that we're saying the youth should lead, we're saying the youth should be the future, and somebody who comes from a rural area said that, you know, we see none of these things where I stay. I've never seen any of these things. I've never been exposed to any of these things. And in fact, from where I come from, I don't really think I have a voice, because you speaking up, you sharing your opinion is sometimes seen as backchatting. And contrasting that with an urban environment where a young person who grows up in the city might go like equality and voice, and what I have to say counts. Yeah. And kind of looking at what does that interchange look like, and what is the impact on how we then go about sharing our solutions. If you think your voice doesn't matter, or if you've grown up in a space where you've been told that your voice is not what we want to hear because you're young. Yeah. And then the leadership going, the young people are the ones we precisely need to hear from. So it was interesting to see those kinds of exchanges, and then hearing about how we can overcome those and make sure that the voice is not just heard, but it's empowered and taken seriously.
Well, then I can't wait to see, now that they know they have a voice, and now that they know that someone's going to be listening, what gems are going to come out of those discussions in the next couple of sessions. Dr. Amis, there was also, I think it was you who spoke about looking outside of South Africa, looking outside of Africa. Yeah, just reiterate for us.
You know, I work a lot with entrepreneurs, and I always say that you know, you might think that the opportunities are just around you, but you know, we're operating in a global environment. If you look at even the challenges of climate change, it transcends borders. So when you're looking for opportunities, don't just look for opportunities because, you know, IDC has been, you have been told IDC is where you can get your funding, or in Dialogue is where you can go on an entrepreneurship program. There are programs all over the world that are actually looking for entrepreneurs like yours to pitch some of your projects. So a lot of opportunities exist elsewhere, and I think that we just need to be more proactive in looking at those opportunities. And South Africa really is an interesting space to be at, because South Africa is an intermediate country, almost from developed to developing. A lot of interest is placed on South Africa because it could be a space where experimentation could happen. So South Africa is essentially seen as a potential leader for the rest of the continent. And for me, my challenge to entrepreneurs is rise up, because you need to take, you know, a position on driving the change on the continent. Over lunch, we were chatting with some other guys, like, you know, you'll be surprised at how much movement entrepreneurs are making in the rest of the continent. This year alone, you know, Nigeria attracted more than $1 billion investments in the fintech sector, you know, clearly showing that there's a lot of growth in the rest of the continent, and entrepreneurs should just not look, you know, within the boundaries of the country, but also beyond, because I think that's where a lot of the opportunities are.
And Nsiki, I'm not sure if you were here when we had our panel discussion, or you had you were actually present for that part where Dr. Arab Hobala was talking about just what's happening, and he made a reference to Ukraine, and just, you know, saying this shows us that we can't only depend on certain sort of you know, areas, resources for energy and all of that. And I have to wonder, when it comes to the youth, and we know that there's a lot going on in their world. You know, young lives now are very different from when I was young, and our priorities were, life was simpler, right? It was very much simpler. How aware are they? How sort of much more forward-thinking are they than, say, this generation and that generation, some of them, you know, in terms of recognizing these things and anticipating these things? Because, you know, as we know, the older we get, some of us get slower, but we depend on the youth to think about these things before we do.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think this is more of my own opinion, but I think when you talk to young people, a lot of what you see is a global mindset, right? When you talk to young people, our brains are already tech, our brains are already cross-border, our brains are already global, you know? So you see a lot of that, and so there's a lot of mindfulness around, I'm creating for a global community, and I want this to be impactful on a global scale. I think where the challenge is how do we bridge that gap? So if I've got an idea that I want or that I could possibly see taking over Europe, how do I get it there? Where do I go to find the people that allow me to get it there? And I think those are the kind of the nuances that we're trying to figure out to say, okay, I think I'm sitting on gold, but how do I get that gold to translate? And I think for a specific conversation that came up was the lack of access to knowledge and information in certain communities, and the fact that you can't expect young people to innovate on a certain level when they don't have access to the kinds of innovation that can allow them to come up with creative stuff, right? So it's how do we make sure that people aren't being left behind, and that from as young as possible, young people are included in the tech revolution. Young people understand what clean energy means. They understand what green tech means, and we spoke about those things. They understand the impact of climate change and how they can have an idea that's Soweto specific or whatever it is, or Mpumalanga specific, but it actually can be applied in other parts of the world. So when you start to kind of segment rural, maybe township communities, some of those gaps in making sure that everyone knows that their ideas can be global.
Absolutely. Okay, so overall, were you impressed with just the response from the youth in that session? I know there will be more to go.
Yeah, completely. I think we definitely needed more time, but there was a lot of input, a lot of insights. And I think what is evidence from the session that we had is that the youth is ready to lead. The youth has ideas on how to innovate. The youth has ideas on what we should do differently to make sure we can move the entire country and continent forward. We just need to be given that opportunity, and we just need to belong to ecosystems that are effectively and efficiently supporting us and empowering us to grow.
What's that word they're using? We're dealing with millennials now, hey? Millennials, okay. And Dr. Amos, are you encouraged? How did you feel after the discussion you were part of?
I feel very encouraged because one of the issues that was raised in our session was the lack of coordination between different actors within the ecosystem to enable investments to flow through in climate finance. And hearing, you know, the donors like, you know, the British Council, NBI, who are working with small businesses, and the government, all essentially talking the same language. There's a sense of convergence that we're in this together. And so that gives me a lot of hope that moving forward, we'll hopefully be able to make things happen. And like I iterated in my session before, I think that we've done enough talking. We should go out there, roll our boots, and get, you know, doing stuff.
It needs to move out of this room now, absolutely. Okay, great. One last chance for questions. We have a taker there. Can we get a microphone to...
Sorry, Veka, while we get the microphone to him, could I just say, I'd be remiss in not mentioning this, is the gender aspect that also came up in our session, right? So I was also very encouraged in the fact that within our discussion, there's no difference between men and women, right? So women are equally capable and competent and everything else. But what was very specific were women entrepreneurs who were saying, I'm in the space, I'm making the difference, but them going, I realize how difficult it is for me to get somewhere compared to my male counterpart who might not have the same family commitments. And I think that still needs to remain at the forefront of thinking about how we empower young people.
Lots to think about, absolutely. But I'm glad that all of that is coming out. It's all becoming part of the discussion. Yes, if you can introduce yourself and tell us who your question is for.
All right. Good afternoon. My name is Luvo. I'm a founder of a company called Green Arch Innovations. Actually from Richards Bay. I think I catch the last bus last night because I knew about the event. So I think for me, it's more of a cry than a question. So it really speaks to rural economy and green economy. So we have a project that we've been developing for the past 3 years down in Richards Bay, which is around in rural economy. So we're franchising aquaponic systems, but purely in rural communities. So with the project we're doing now, we have about 6,000 fish in our system. It's inland farming. So the history of the community, because of local laws, they cannot fish for commercial purposes. So we're targeting such disadvantaged communities that cannot bridge the gap between legislation and they're making a livelihood from the available resources. So we're designing these aquaponic systems for them. Currently, we have a project inland in Eskawini in Richards Bay, where we're growing 6,000 fish inland, and we're growing through aquaponic systems. And we're growing tomatoes. When you go to the community, they couldn't grow tomatoes because it's extremely hot. So through our systems, we're able to grow tomatoes. So my cry is, we want to launch the project, but we don't know who to speak to showcase the projects that we're doing for communities. Right now, we want to franchise. We've identified communities within the radius of that area, but want to empower those people to make a livelihood from the available resources. For example, I've made an example that they couldn't grow tomatoes outside the greenhouse, but because we introduced them into aquaponic system, they're able to do aquaculture and plant production in a closed group system through this initiative. So it's really about how can we make these projects known to people, and as youth who can really assist us, because it's a cry. We tried to source some form of collaboration partnerships, but really we want to see who can assist us to extend our programs. I think that's really, for me, it's a cry than a question.
All right, well, I'm really glad that you made it safely here on that last bus, that hopefully that, you'll have some answers, and I don't know which one of you would like to but it is what we were talking about. It's about making all of that more accessible. Our youngsters should be able to know where's the first place, where's your first stop. You've got an amazing idea. Just let it not float around for too long.
Yeah, 100%. I think Rest might be talking about this earlier, later during the awards. I don't want to kind of jump the gun. So if you're here, I do believe there's a program we're launching. Yeah. Okay, so I won't talk about it. Rest will talk about it. But I think if you're part of, being here, it's a good space to be in. The Indalo network is a strong network. So I think plugging in and speaking to someone in admin to see specifically who in the network can be best suited to support you. But I think the program that Rest will talk about later on is also something you should look at applying to.
Okay, so there'll be some answers. Yes?
Yeah, I know. I've worked with entrepreneurs for the last 10 plus years, and my advice to every entrepreneur is always simple. Is that understand your market and sell. Sell before you even apply to any program. Because if you can bootstrap your business, it's easier to convince an angel investor, it's easier to convince a potential investor to actually buy your idea. So I would rather spend more time understanding my market, understanding my product, and actually getting it out there. I think that's really, really important. That's all I can say for you.
Okay, well, hopefully, as Nsiki said, there will be some talk of this a little later on, and maybe some guidance for you as well as to where you can go. Any other questions? Anybody else with a question before we round up this part of today's proceedings? Anyone? Right, I think that's where we leave it for now, and I think Rest, it's for you to come up and wrap this up, because I know you told everyone about the party. You said there was a party. Now nobody wants to ask any more questions because cocktails get cold. I know, get warm. Cocktails get warm. And please tell me, you must think about this as you walk in up here. This little vehicle that is parked there, is that going to be, was there supposed to be a lucky draw? Is someone going to win that? You must please, I'm very curious. I have to know before I leave.
Yes, it looks like someone is going to win that vehicle today. We've got, maybe you must visit a vehicle, very interesting innovation. I'm told it does 150 kilometers with just battery power, not kilometers per hour, range, distance.
One with the wind.
And they're going to be, they're looking at innovation that's going to cover a total of 400, right? Right? Yes. There's a question about your innovation, this vehicle. Are you leaving us? Someone is winning it today, right?
Test drive it. Can we test drive it after
Test
5
driving it?
cocktails? After 5 cocktails.
Yeah. Okay, great. So thank you so much. Please visit the car, the vehicle, look at it, and thank you so much to VU and HYBR for making that connection. We're excited about that. There's nothing much for me to say except to say thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
I want to invite Kanyisa quickly. Kanyisa Mawetu, please bring the goodies for me. And because we have to do this very quickly. So I think the idea, Lindy or Vivian, can you, you need to advise me. The idea is that people don't move because the party starts immediately, right? If you want to stretch and just go and, go to the bathroom or something like that, you can do that as soon as we finish this. But you've got to come back very quickly because we don't want to drag this for too long. And we have a special award ceremony. Yeah, great. So yeah, please come, guys, please come. And I hope you've got all the goodies for me. So, Ivanka, thank you so much. You were super great. Can we give a proper round of applause, please? Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for somebody who nearly fainted when she saw the topic, but now I'm so informed. It's unbelievable.
You just don't only read news.
Oh, well, no.
You do exciting stuff as well. So, please come. I want to introduce you to this enterprise.
Thank you.
Why are you only bringing 3?
Oh, we've got a lot of them there.
Yeah, I don't know why you do that. But anyway, so you'll get to know about them very soon. All of this that you see here, this is a laptop bag, it's all from recycled textile material, offcuts and other spaces, right?
Thank you.
I'm not speaking
Yes.
wrong
You're
stuff,
right?
right?
No, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right. You're right.
yeah.
You're right.
So circular economy, and we're creating very exciting bags. These are not for the participants, but I want to say thank you to some of the speakers. And first, I'll start with you, Venka. Thank you so much.
Thank you, that's so sweet.
This is
Thank
yours.
you.
So on behalf of the Indalo board, I know Candice and Nancy are live and joining us. So there we
I'll
go.
model it for you,
That's yours. Can I? Dumisani is gone, right? Can I have my panelists that are still here? Mao. Let's get some more, please. Please come. Tabile, please come. Where's Ritumezi? She's gone?
Let me move over.
Yeah.
Come this way.
Yes, Tabang. When I go to Thank you so much, my brother. Yeah, there's some more bags that are coming here.
Go to these two.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Nangomso, please come.
No, this one. No pink. I think blue is it's more me.
Yeah, yes, it's blue more you. There's more coming. I'm missing people. I know I'm deliberately not including Tsiki now.
She's getting the car, right?
Yeah, she's getting the car. So we're going to Egypt with that car. We're going to COP27 with that car.
Follow me on my bike.
Travis, where are you? Who was in the other panel again? So, Fonzo is gone, yeah? Yeah, no, Lindo doesn't count. And Bali is not here, right? But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Yeah.
This is really good.
It really looks cool. So I must just tell you that we are kind of bullies at Indalo, for some of you who don't know. She did this within how many hours? 2 days, and produced 30 bags of this. Wow. So the production capacity,
I hope you get a bag.
the production capacity is also quite good. So please visit her stand and order, right?
Yeah.
So Mao talks about sell, and do something good and something nice, and you start selling. So thank you so much, you guys.
How much are they?
Please speak for yourself. Don't tell them my price.
Sell.
How much are they? How much is the bag normally? Normal price?
The laptop bag,
Don't be scared to mention your price. Yeah.
it's 350.
Yeah. It's a good price.
350.
Okay. Good. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys did great. Tabang, don't declare that. All right, Vivian, let's take a 5 minutes break. Is there anything else? Before we take that break, in fact, we can do this later, right? Yeah.
It's not 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not 5 minutes. It's because there's cocktail drinks outside, so it's a good 15 minutes.
Oh, are they here?
Yeah, they're
Just outside here?
just outside before we start for the awards.
Okay, okay, great.
Then we can aim to come back at like 22. We just need to finish setting up for the awards.
Okay. All right, great. So I'm reliably informed that it's not 5 minutes. It's a good 15 minutes because the drinks are outside. They're here. So please, there's cocktail drinks outside. Let's start interacting. Let's start networking and getting to know each other. And we come back straight away. When we ask you to please come back, let's make sure we do come back as quick as possible, right? So that we can have you see the band is here, and we want to put our dancing shoes. So let's do that. We'll do the introductions of the other guests a bit later. But yeah, thank you. You don't want cocktail? Siyaweka. It sounds.
The Indalopreneur South African Green and Inclusive Enterprise Awards and Support Program, SIAGIA, is a structured 3-year program funded by Nedbank and aims to support innovative entrepreneurs who contribute to a climate-resilient society and an inclusive green economy while addressing the country's triple.
runs a business operating on its own in my community. So with the CRD, our project participates to our enterprise and our now created two jobs and 20 permanent jobs in the community. I would like to thank the government for its support and network for giving us an opportunity to experience the work
Hi everyone, my name is Infinite Divine. I'm the co-founder of Distribution Water. We are based in Diani, Limpopo province. So here in Diani, the biggest problem is that we do not have clean, healthy drinking water. And I took it upon myself to become a solution to the current problem where a social enterprise that this business solves the social problems that we're currently facing as a community. Currently, we are established and we are purifying water and we're selling the water in bottles and also doing refill as well as deliveries. What's unique about us is that we purify the water using macadamia nut shells that have been crushed and we turn them into fiber. I was fortunate to be selected as part of the CIDEA Innovator Awards program where I received further funding as well as mentorship and I was able to start off the business. Currently we've got 3 employees and we are looking into scaling up and employing 6. There are many surrounding villages where they have serious water problems. So our goal as a business is to make sure that we reach these communities who want to deliver the water where we have got a bigger tank, making it accessible for the people.
My name is Mrs. Sibia. I am a co-founder and COO of Bumbodet Mobi. The company is based in Diepsloot. I looked around in my area. In every open space, there was illegal dumping, either building rubble, garden refuse, food waste. So me and Susiso co-founded the company. We are dealing with organic waste. We're taking it from our customers, and then we are making compost on our sites by bringing earthworms and black soldier flies to actually process the waste. And then we are taking the very compost and selling it to our customers. So as Bumbodet Mobi, we are looking forward also to actually going into our community and training the people in terms of sorting out their food waste so that we can be able to collect it, exchange it for what they may need, for example, maybe airtime, and teach them the importance of sorting out food waste from the rest of the general waste. The Siagia Innovator Awards program and NetBank has helped us to employ 3 people part-time and to co-finance the truck and to build a solid foundation so that we know how to properly build the business to achieve the goals that we
I'm the commercial director of Kosheni, which is based in Lilidei, Bush Pakrishin, Pumala. We are managing waste in different ways. We do recycled glass, cans, card boxes. We've got different programs that we are dealing with recycling, cleaning, making sure that our rivers are clean, and we mentor the up-and-coming waste management business. The enterprise manufacture the waste bins. We're taking it to the local schools. We're taking it to the local schools. Even our municipality now is demanding to put all the strategic areas around the municipality. We're taking our waste bins to different schools. Currently, more than 40 schools have already so that those learners need to learn to be responsible and able to separate waste. The information that I got from here in the data, our program assisted a lot. The entity is leaving the guard zone. Today, the entity is owning all the machines that is needed to manufacture the waste. So I'm impacting a lot in the community. People today, they start to see the education, they start to see the importance of taking care of the environment, they start to see that waste is managed properly.
My name is Madonna Gisela. I'm the CEO of the Green Farm based in Sewani Village, Sewani, Limpopo. We breed pigs up to my kitchen. We also train upcoming farmers, especially women who are interested in farming. We also sell fresh farm products from our own butchery. Due to the huge amount of pig waste that we have on farm, we had to come up with ways to effectively reuse. Part of it was to directly reuse the biodigester, so we have And we also use the pig waste as manure. We also use the pig waste as chicken feed, now turning into manure. We're aiming to train the young ones on green initiatives so they can start their own green homes. We're intending to do organic farms that will be set up in their homes or in their schools. They can also do farming, market production, liquid manure. In this way, we are actually solving an environmental issue and also creating a business opportunity. We employ 3 people in our farm, 8 roles in less than 6 months. Many thanks and appreciation to Indalo Inclusive South Africa and NetBank for our inclusion. I'm the founder and CEO of the Portfolio Business Investment. We are based in Harangua. We manufacture cleaning products and cosmetic products through the use of cooking oil. One of the major challenges that we are addressing as a company is wrongful dumping of this used cooking oil, especially in our landfills and drains. We're also addressing the issue of lack of employment, especially among the youth and the women. I heard about the Siagia Indalo Venture Awards program on social media. It was posted by a fellow entrepreneur on Facebook. The Indalo Venture was actually for the technical and the financial support has been very helpful for our enterprise. The first time when they came into the business, we didn't really have electricity. We didn't really have the filtration system. They came in and did an assessment and later on did the diagnosis of our business. And with the financial support that we received from them, we are proud to say that we have the filtration system that we always wanted so that we can use quality bar soaps. Another aspect that has helped us was to establish marketing strategies that we need to put in place to also include controls within our business. It has also assisted with the business administration side of things. So our major goal is to expand. Since we've won the Siagia Indalovator Awards program, we have managed to employ 5 people within the business. We are proud to say we have collected over 5 tons of this used cooking oil. I'd like to thank Indalo Inclusive and NetBank for this great opportunity.
My name is Zain Bana. I'm the Chief Business Officer at Anisoft Terra. We are standing at the Stellenbosch Material Recycling Facility in the Western Cape. Our business model and enterprise deploys sensors and cameras in sorting facilities along the conveyor or sorting line. This assists in giving real-time data to a business intelligence dashboard.
Nasimakot iyot onina wanika mompuli mwa mutande notu ukunabe bebena wat dutu nyimba mule matu ebukimba mamut ilena boye mona bwa pongo jita amunja mit inyandolo Wepanda meset Mona menwe kata midongot Bukato bebe no wat Now mendre kata wiyat Na sivinje na imente no wala ruku Unyolang koe Ingo sambo we pombo wana dalowina Ikunde walote kunde kumila bokubana Poingwa mama na mwana Utakota te Utuna mo imamele na kukunda Obotia zami sisae mwanange fololo Nuso sala ponangao Mamilina bungang Mamilina bungang Matiana Masuma pona bobena dalowina Matiana Indanak be kunto sengato malia mama Mawas na wesa Namo yo bala ye Wila so banupa Oh my Osambo boni sisi ana dalowina Binyolo bandera Matiana Angona mulatoi Nsenga malia Mukanda ho bakaka Balimba nate na subu Nimele soma matinaku Na bibe mnyenge Like leggy the jam on the jam Bang fog me damo fate And the side of the jam on the regular Du jagem damo baye Irlanyu de for manu kosul Nanyu melo
actually just messaging you to say.
Yeah, Travis was sending it to you.
Okay.
We sent it to you on email. I'm not sure if you've got
Okay,
it.
no, he just sent it. No, it just came through. And then,
Okay, what is not there is the names of the people that are going to announce the winners.
Sorry, that's for some reason.
I'm just gonna make a list for you for them here.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just looking at this. For some reason, it's not opening.
It's not.
No.
It's opening on mine. Send. Try my one. Red said you could use her iPad. It's not here.
Okay.
Okay, now it opens. Is the Mkita's name there? This is just a little bit of information. Because I'm gonna ask these guys also to just show it on the screen.
When is Mkita supposed to come up again?
When?
When is Mkita supposed to come up? There.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I think we can start now.
All right, are the people still outside? Okay. Can I get everybody to come into the main hall so we can get started?
All right, I think everyone is in the room and settled, and our band is an absolute vibe. Thank you so much. Can I actually get the band's name? Just mhlambe somebody uyashada, or like somebody's having a birthday party and they want to book the band. Can we find you on social media? Do you guys have a handle?
We are actually PAX Entertainment on Facebook.
PAXX.
PAX Entertainment.
Okay, see, it would not be an entrepreneurial event if I didn't plug our band. Thank you guys. You guys are absolutely fantastic. I know you guys have been here the whole day, but I want to welcome you again, especially because you now have fancy looking drinks in your hand, and I hope they taste fancy as well. Do they? I'm just going to take that as a yes. I'm going to assume everyone's drinks taste fancy. So, I mean, I know I was here just now before the break, but I do think a few people maybe only came now to join us for the awards. So I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nsiki Mkize. I am the founder of Mentor, which is a global mentorship network that specifically supports female social entrepreneurs who are in early idea and seed stage. I am an author and a speaker, and I do lots of coaching and business advisory with entrepreneurs. And for this afternoon, I will be your host for the awards. Now, before we go into the awards, I'd like to share 2 quotes with you that I think completely epitomize why we are here. The first one is a very mature, very, introspective quote by the Lorax from Dr. Seuss. And the Lorax says that unless somebody like you cares an awful lot, things aren't going to change. They simply won't. And I think in this time, this afternoon, as we come together to celebrate and to award the young people that are making a difference in business with their innovations, to impact the adverse impact of climate change, those are the people who care a lot. They care, and we want to say thank you for caring, thank you for making a difference. And the other quote that I want to share with you is by Nelson Mandela, and he said that freedom is not truly obtained unless women are completely emancipated in all forms. And part of our focus in the program that we're launching this afternoon as well is focused on women who are making a difference in climate change as well. And I want to say thank you to all of our partners who have made this possible. So thank you so much to Nedbank, to Flanders State of the Art, and to Indalo Inclusive for putting this together, and to the team that's been running around, not just this afternoon or this week, but since the start of the year. They've been putting this together and making sure that we are rewarded, we are celebrated, but we also have spaces like this to support young people. So the awards that we'll be looking at for this afternoon are the Indalo Veta, Indalo Grow Awards, and the launch of Siyaweka. And afterwards, we'll obviously give you a moment to network and to find out who's in the room. Might you be sitting next to a potential business partner? Might you be sitting next to somebody who's a potential plug for getting your business out there? I was just talking to the gentleman who does the scooter, then getting a bit of information, because I'm looking for someone that can help us with, at no cost, because we don't want to pay for petrol, because it's getting pricey to drive a car, but for us to be able to deliver products to our customers. And I was like, that 150 radius really works for us. So I was having a conversation with him. That could be a potential partnership. So we'd like to encourage you to do the same. So starting out with Siyaweka, right? If you've heard that acronym a lot of times, you're probably wondering, what on earth does that stand for? So Siyaweka is the Indalo Inclusive program that is focused on South Africa, that is focused on a partnership with Gender CC Southern Africa, and it is the empowerment. So it's the South African Women Entrepreneurs Climate Change Awards, right? That's what the acronym stands for. And this was launched in partnership with Gender CC South Africa, the Innovation Hub Climate Innovation Center South Africa, and supported by the government of Flanders. The South African Women Entrepreneurs Climate Change Award focuses on showcasing the most innovative climate-smart, women-owned enterprises in South Africa. And I've seen some of these behind the scenes, and I'm like, oh my goodness, look at these girls innovating, right? So I'd like the team to please share a video with us so that you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say these women have come up with extremely epic innovations.
Siyaweka. It sounds like a Zulu name, like we are working, but that is our tagline. It's actually a spin-off program from the Government of Flanders funded program of Exige, wherein we partnered with other grantees of the Government of Flanders, and these include in Gender CC and in the United Nations Environment Programme. We actually looked at our portfolio of work and realized that there is a big gap that is visible in our work, in that we have not really focused on addressing issues of gender, and maybe more specifically issues of women empowerment in our work. So we therefore coined Siyaweka, which is the South African Women in Climate Change and Environment Award Program, and it identifies, established women-operated and women-owned, enterprises or businesses that have very strong inclination towards addressing the impact of climate change, or broadly, working in the green economy space in the country. And we recognize their efforts. And we're grateful to the partnership of Gender CC, UNEP, as well as the Climate Innovation Center.
The United Nations Environment Programme is mandated by the United Nations to be the agency that's specifically responsible for ensuring that the world's environment is kept under check. We are faced with a double challenge, the challenge of climate change and the challenge of a recovery of COVID-19 pandemic. And so as an organization, as UNEP, we are supporting South Africa. We are working with Indalo Inclusive at the moment to identify women business leaders, particularly in the climate change adaptation space. Climate change adaptation, again, is not a normal area of great interest for businesses, as it's more about building resilience and looking for businesses that support their families and their communities, but also contribute to addressing issues of perhaps lack of proper infrastructure, lack of food on the table, or lack of water within the community level. And therefore, this will be really interesting for us as we try and identify some of these women business leaders that can be role models for future businesses and future people that want to open businesses in this sector. We are looking forward to continuing our work with Indalo Inclusive to support small and medium enterprises that are anchored on the 3 pillars of sustainable development, which is basically social development, economic development, and environmental sustainability.
Mokhabisi Recycling is a 100% black female-owned entity. It's based in the heart of Johannesburg in the East Rand. And what we do here is that we collect recyclables from the communists and they bring it to our site. We wait for them and we pay them accordingly. We want to expand and also turn the plastics that we collect into granules. So we want to grow from where we are. I saw the Siyaweka advertisement online, and I decided to actually take my chances in terms of entering, because I saw that there's potential as it wants to empower women in business. Mokhabisi employs 40 full-time people, and 26 it's female, and 16 it's male. Some of our ideas to become a more eco-friendlier is to partner with people in the green sector, with maybe NGOs, those that focuses mainly on the green sectors. Yeah, everyone should recycle, recycle and recycle. Do one thing and recycle. You see trash, I see treasure.
You see trash, I see treasure. Yes, please give them a round of applause. And I think if you take the time to go through each of these innovations, you'll find that I think sometimes when you think about an innovation, you expect things to be groundbreaking, you expect them to be completely novel. And a lot of it is just somebody going, here's a problem, I think I can fix it. And I want to say congratulations and thank you so much to each of the women in this cohort for taking a stand and doing something to fix it. So we already had cohort 1, so what you saw there in the video were the ladies from cohort 1, but we are going to be launching cohort 2. So if you are like, oh my goodness, that's so great, I want to be a part of it, you still can, okay? So I'd like to welcome to the stage Zimkita Bilabana, who is the program partner at Climate Innovation Center South Africa, to share with us the insights for cohort 2 and to officially launch Siyaworka for this year. So please give her a round of applause.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Nsiki. Yeah, it's definitely different from this perspective. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am here to announce the official call for applications for the Siyaworka 2022. As indicated by Nsiki earlier, the Siyaworka Awards it focuses on showcasing the most innovative, climate-smart women-owned enterprises in South Africa. The award is hosted by Indalo Inclusive in partnership with Gender CC Southern Africa, the Innovation Hub's Climate Innovation Center South Africa, and supported by the government of Flanders. So the call will select 8 enterprises into the program, and the successful enterprises will share a grant amount of 85,000 Rand, which will be divided into the 3 categories. So the winning applicants will also receive capacity building, consisting of 4 workshops, and this will be there will also be a 6-month mentorship, virtual, and also context sessions. So the criteria for the call: 1, it needs to be 100% women-owned and managed, have a registered enterprise in South Africa based in rural community or township to address challenges in communities and townships, be at least operational for 2 years with a minimum turnover of 100,000, innovative technologies and business model approaches contributing to climate change mitigation and adaptation, as well as nature-based approaches that benefit ecosystems and livelihoods. Applicants should also demonstrate how they are going to address the COVID-19 related crisis and how they will work to increase their resilience to the future. Have an innovative solution within the water, clean energy, biodiversity, waste management, and sustainable agricultural sectors. Should not be part of 2 incubation programs within South Africa. The applicant should also show a willingness to learn, to grow, and commit to the full duration of the program. The enterprise should also have high potential to contribute to the green economy and deliver social, environmental, and economic benefits. It must also have the potential to scale up and become financially sustainable. So I'm not sure if they're going to put up the link up here where you can apply. So using that link, also very important, the closing date for the call is the 17th of April. So what the winners, oh no, I'm done. Yes, 17th of April is the closing date, and also you can follow Indalo Inclusive on all the social media platforms using Indalo Inclusive SA. And I thank you.
I see Zimkita was getting a bit carried away there. She was wanting to give away more prizes, more money, more insights, just more of it, and we welcome it. We absolutely welcome it. So you heard that what the criteria is. If you've been operational for 2 years, if you're making an impact, you're registered in South Africa, your revenue per year is 100K, this is the program for you. But also to say, if you're looking at this and you're going, shucks, I'm not there, I'm far even, okay? You've got 2 years, like you can get there, you know, it's absolutely possible. And have conversations with people in the room. There's lots of people here who understand entrepreneurship, and say to them, I want to be part of this program in a year, in 2 years from now. How do I get there? And let us help you figure out how to get to those particular targets. Next up, I'd like to invite someone to give words of support. I firmly believe in partnerships and the fact that the best way to grow, the best way to have maximum impact is to partner with the right people that share the same vision, but also have the same like-mindedness in terms of the impact that we want to have and the people we want to support in order to be able to reach that impact. And someone who shares the same mind is Nicholas Boscher, and he is the Deputy General Representative for the Government of Flanders. So I'd like to welcome him to the stage just to share with us some words of their support. Please give him a round of applause.
Thank you for your introduction, and maybe the previous speaker and we can come back later on to give the prizes. Rest, what do you think? Yeah? So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Nicholas Boscher, and I work for the Government of Flanders. And I would like, first of all, to thank Indalo Inclusive for the excellent partnership we have with them, and also for linking up with Gender CC and the Innovation Hub to create this excellent opportunity for women leaders, I would say. So Flanders, maybe I'll give you a quick introduction. Flanders is the northern region of Belgium. So we are a regional government. We have development cooperation partnerships with South Africa, Mozambique, and Malawi. And I've been working in Malawi for 9 years before coming to South Africa. And we work on a basis of 5-year programs with each of these countries. We have a country program with South Africa that ended end of last year. And in these 5-year programs, we have what we call basic conditions. So a basic condition for us is something that should be mainstreamed in all of the projects, and we should be able to allocate or determine how much money in each project goes to these basic conditions, which are inclusiveness, gender equality, and good governance. So throughout all of our projects, a minimum of 10% should go there. And I understood from Indalo this has been a little bit of a wake-up call for them, so I'm very glad we could do that, and that they launched this initiative, which I appreciate a lot. And maybe from a personal angle, I really appreciate this. You know, my grandmother was one of the first ones to graduate from the University of Brussels at that time. So in our family, gender and woman empowerment is quite strong. You will see that if you meet my daughter. She's quite strong in this area. So what I'm saying is that it's quite an important area for us. And more gender and woman empowerment is coming to the forefront, but I think there's still quite a lot to do. And yesterday, in preparation of this event, I looked up some figures in South Africa. So what I found out is that female unemployment in 2020 for women stood at 31% versus 26% for men. Females employed throughout the industry in South Africa in 2020 was 11% versus 38% for men. The share of female employment in senior and middle management functions in 2019 stood at 1/3, so meaning that only 1 in 3 managers are female. Women-owned businesses represent 38% in 2017 for those who are officially registered. So that figure can be higher if we include the informal businesses. And then important for this workshop, what I found out is that only 9% of women are involved in early stage entrepreneurial activities in 2017, 2018. So I hope this can be one of the initiatives that will be able to boost that. So very, very important to stimulate female entrepreneurship. And I think much needs to be done still, but I think the trend is changing slowly. And I think more and more women are seen as agents of change rather than vulnerable people with regard to climate change and the environment. And there's also one striking fact that I found out yesterday, and it definitely represents my home situation, is that 80% of the buying decisions at domestic level are made by women. So I don't know about the rest of the men, but I rarely go to the supermarket. I mean, it's always my wife who makes the decisions. And this goes also beyond just shopping. So this means that women, they know the market quite well. And I think it's something that sometimes as men we underestimate, meaning that women can be quite good entrepreneurs to make sure that they make the necessary links in the value chain and that they meet supply and demand. So I think overall for women entrepreneurs it looks very good. We're also aware that they are having more challenges than men when it comes to access to information, access to finance. And so we hope that projects like this will be able to address these challenges. And if there are women entrepreneurs who are currently being supported by Indalo, I would advise you please call out to Indalo to see how you can overcome some of these challenges. So back to the launch now. I hope that there will be many applications for this call. There will be only 8 winners. They will receive financial support. So I'm really hoping on a lot of applications. I hope that Indalo will be really able to pick out the best ones. And I hope that these women business leaders will continue to break the stereotypes that are out there. That women are not good business leaders, that women cannot manage men in their team. I think these are stereotypes that are still out there. And I would really encourage all the applicants, even if they won't be winning or won't be amongst these 8, that they continue breaking these stereotypes. Because we as Flanders, we're convinced that women are excellent entrepreneurs. So please send in all your applications, and I wish everybody all the best with expanding their enterprises. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you so much to Nicholas, and thank you so much for heeding the call to support women so that we can be in the space of leading and creating great enterprises that impact communities. One of the things that I found very interesting was the research that came out during the pandemic around the impact on female entrepreneurs. And yes, while women were adversely impacted because a lot of women occupy retail positions and a lot of the frontline works, what we also saw was that there was a lot more investment that went into female-led businesses during the pandemic, but also with that was that there was greater return seen from those businesses. So women definitely, there is a place and there is a need. And as part of the youth making a change is women also being the ones that make a change. So if you attend enough of Indalo initiatives, if you engage with Indalo enough, if you work with Indalo, what you will know is that they are the king or the queen of acronyms, right? And they are the king and queen of acronyms that sound like Zulu words, right? So we had Siyaweka, and the other award program that they are running is called Siyagia, right? Which both of them are definitely not real Zulu words that mean anything in the context of the programs, but they mean a lot in the context of who we are supporting. So Siyagia is a program that Indalo is running, and it stands for the South African Green and Inclusive Enterprise Awards and Support Program. So if you are a part of that, that is why you are here, because you're going, yes, please give me my awards. So this particular program aims to support innovative entrepreneurial solutions to contribute to the evidence base for climate change, bringing about a climate-resilient society, and an inclusive green economy which addresses the country's triple challenges of poverty, unemployment, and inequality. So all the businesses that you see represented here today through Indalo Veta and Indalo Grow have focused on that. The program is implemented through the technical and financial support for green and inclusive enterprises within the water, energy, agriculture, and waste sectors. The Siyagia Awards aim to honor the 15 recipients for the Indalo Veta cohort, and then I actually can't remember how many are part of the Indalo Grow. I think it was 4 or 5. 5, right? Thank you. So just to give a bit of background on what the program is about, how the program is structured, and just some of the impact the program has had, I'd like to welcome to the stage Vivian Petla, who is the programs coordinator here at Indalo Inclusive, to share with us. Oh wait, sorry. Before I invite Vivian, yes, we're going to play a video, and then Vivian will be on stage after the video. So can our team please cue that video for us?
The Indalo South African Green and Inclusive Enterprise Awards and Support Program, SIAGIA, is a structured 3-year program funded by Nedbank and aims to support innovative entrepreneurs who contribute to a climate-resilient society and an inclusive green economy, while addressing the country's triple challenges of poverty, unemployment, and inequality.
My name is Mobani Mbanjo. I'm the Director and Head of Operations of Ikamba Recycling Waste Management. We are a buyback center that is situated in Phosphorus Boxback. We buy and collect recyclable waste. As a former waste picker myself, I used to wake up at 3 in the morning to go and salvage waste in people's bins. My struggle was we had to wait for days for other companies to come and buy our waste. That's when the idea came to me that I must open my own buyback center that will offer convenience to other waste pickers and create more jobs for the youth of our community. We contribute positively to the green economy through upcycling waste materials like bottles. We convert them into drinking glasses. The SIAGIA Awards program could actually help me to expand the business. We were operating on a small scale in my home garage. So with the SIAGIA Awards program funding, we moved to our bigger site, and now we are able to save more waste pickers, and it has created 2 jobs and 2 permanent jobs for the youth of my community. I would like to thank Indalo Inclusive South Africa and Nedbank for giving us an opportunity as entrepreneurs.
Hi everyone, my name is Lungile Divine Marungani, and I am the founder of Jeslu Pure Water. We are based in Giyani, Limpopo province. So here in Giyani, the biggest problem is that we do not have clean, healthy drinking water. And I took it upon myself to become a solution to the current problem. We're a social enterprise. We believe in the needs of the people, and we believe that this business solves the social problems that we're currently facing as a community. Currently, we are established and we are purifying water, and we're selling the water in bottles and also doing refill as well as deliveries. What's unique about us is that we purify the water using macadamia nut shells that have been crushed, and we turn them into fiber. I was fortunate to be selected as part of the SIAGIA Indalovator Awards program, where I received further funding as well as mentorship, and I was able to start off the business. Currently, we've got 2 employees, and we are looking into scaling up and employing 6. There are many surrounding villages where they have serious water problems. So our goal as a business is to make sure that we reach these communities. We want to deliver the water where we have got a bigger tank, making it accessible for the people.
My name is Mrs. Svia. I am a co-founder and COO of Pumbadet Mobi. The company is based in Diepsloot. I looked around in my area. In every open space, there was illegal dumping. Either building rubble, garden refuse, food waste. So me and Susiso co-founded the company. We are dealing with organic waste. We're taking it from our customers, and then we are making compost on our sites by bringing earthworms and black soldier flies to actually process the waste. And then we are taking the very compost and selling it to our customer. So as Pumbadet Mobi, we are looking forward also to actually going into our community and training the people in terms of sorting out their food waste so that we can be able to collect it, exchange it for what they may need, for example, maybe airtime, and teach them the importance of sorting out food waste from the rest of the general waste. The SIAGIA Indalovator Awards program and Nedbank has helped us employ 3 people part-time and to co-finance the truck and to build a solid foundation so that we know how to properly build the business to achieve the goals that we have placed.
I'm Bertrand Mashele, Director of Kosheni, which is based in Lilydale, Bushbuck Region, Mpumalanga. We are managing the waste in different ways. We do recycled glass, cans, card boxes. We've got different programs that we are dealing with. We've got recycling, greening, making sure that our rivers are clean, and we mentor the up-and-coming waste management entities. The enterprise manufacture the waste bins. We're taking to the local schools. We're taking to the local clinics. Even our municipality now is demanding it to put all the strategic areas around the Bushbuckridge municipality. We're taking our waste bins to different schools. Currently, more than 40 schools have already benefited from it, so that those learners need to learn to be responsible and able to separate waste. The information that I got from Siagia in the elevator, our program assisted a lot. The entity is having the guard room. Today, the entity is owning all the machines that is needed to manufacture the waste bins. So are impacting a lot in the community. People today, they start to see the education, they start to see the importance of taking care of the environment, they start to see that waste is money in their pockets.
My name is Mako Mabitsela. I'm the CEO of Bumunu Eco Green Farm based in Sewashi Village, Polokwane, Limpopo. We breed pigs up to market stage. We also train upcoming farmers, especially women who are interested in pig farming. We also sell fresh farm pork from our own butchery. Due to the huge amount of pig waste that we have on farm, we had to come up with ways to effectively reuse it. Part of it was to direct it into the biodigester, so we have biogas. And we also use the pig waste as manure. We also use the pig waste as chicken feed, now turned into maggots. We're aiming to train young ones on green opportunities so they can start their own green businesses. We're intending to do organic farms that will be set up in their homes or in schools. They can also do worm farming, maggot production, or liquid manure. In this way, we are actually solving an environmental issue and also creating business opportunities. We employ 3 people in our farm. We've grown in less than 6 months. Many thanks and appreciation to Indalo Inclusive South Africa and Nedbank for our inclusion.
Hi, good day. My name is Tisoma Taulu. I'm the founder and the CEO of Dlokulu Business Investment. We are based in Harangua. We manufacture cleaning products and cosmetic products through the use of used cooking oil. One of the major challenges that we are addressing as a company is wrongful dumping of this used cooking oil, especially in our landfills and drains. We're also addressing the issue of lack of employment, especially among the youth and the women. I heard about the Siagia Indalovator Awards program on social media. It was posted by a fellow entrepreneur on Facebook. The Indalovator was actually looking for entrepreneurs making an impact socially, economically, and environmentally. The technical and the financial support has been very helpful for our enterprise. The first time when they came into the business, we didn't even have electricity. We didn't even have the filtration system. They came in and did an assessment and later on did a diagnosis on our business. And with the financial support that we received from them, we are proud to say that we have the filtration system that we always wanted so that we produce quality bar soaps. Another aspect that the mentorship has helped us was to establish marketing strategies that we need to put in place to also include controls within our business. It has also assisted with the business administration side of things. So our major goal is to expand. Since we've won the Siagia Indalovator Awards program, we have managed to employ 5 people within the business. We are proud to say we have collected over 5 tons of this used cooking oil. I'd like to thank Indalo Inclusive and Nedbank for this great opportunity.
My name is Zain Bana. I'm the Chief Business Officer at Anisoc Terra. We are standing at the Stellenbosch Material Recycling Facility in the Western Cape. Our business model and enterprise deploys sensors and cameras in sorting facilities along the conveyor or sorting line. This assists in giving real-time data to a business intelligence dashboard which the operator has access to and is able to then determine any serious bottlenecks and sorting inefficiencies within the sorting line and the entire sorting facility. And this allows for
the plant operator to be able to sort more efficiently and also divert more waste from landfill and more recycling material to be recycled and upcycled and reused in other ways. For every 3 tons of waste sorted on site, 1 sorting job is created within the sorting facility. We were looking not only for mentorship and business advice, but also grant funding in order to help our project become a reality. The technical advice we have received through the Siagia program has helped us structure a company and be able to make better decisions while starting up. At the same time, the funding opportunity that has come with this program has also helped us complete most of our software development in time for where we plan to finish and launch the product. Our goal is to be able to deploy our sorting solution and identification software on MRFs across the country. We aim to deploy this solution on a Microsoft HoloLens, which is a smart augmented reality solution that will allow the sorters on site to be able to quickly identify what is the right material to pick, and this will not only enhance the efficiency, but also look at creating the jobs, which ultimately is what we're looking to do. Thank you to Indalo Inclusive and Nedbank for the funding and mentorship support.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vivian Petla, as they've already mentioned, and I would like to acknowledge our partners in the room, the Nedbank and the Government of Flanders, and all our other partners who are here this evening. Most of all, I want to acknowledge our entrepreneurs who are here. So basically, I'm just going to do a summary of the video. The Siagia Indalo Veta Awards and the Indalo Grow Awards are part of a broader program that we are implementing, funded by Nedbank. It's a 3-year structured program, as they've already mentioned. In the past 5 months, we have managed to implement the Indalo Veta program. That's the first phase of the program. And the recipients are here in the room today. They have managed to receive capacity building and financial support of 50,000, and they have been able to implement the activities that they raised up as they submitted their application in terms of their needs to actually grow the businesses. So we're very proud that we have been able to walk the journey with the 15 enterprises that are here in the room today. And the program is continuing, of course. We are now in the second phase, which is the Indalo Grow. We launched the call in January this year, and we have already done the selection. So there are 5 beneficiaries of the Indalo Grow here this evening as well. They have not started with the actual support of the program. They haven't received the financial support yet as well. It's only this evening that we are going to acknowledge them, and we look forward to starting a new journey with them. So as the program is structured for 3 years, there will still be another phase of the program, which is Indalo Excel, that looks at enterprises that are looking for big investments, and that call is going to come out not this year, but we will do it after we do the second part of the Indalo Grow cohort. So how we have structured is, because we had 15 enterprises from the first phase of the program, we divided the Indalo Grow program into 2. Here we have 5 today, but we are still going to launch a second call of the Indalo Grow. This helps us to support mostly the enterprises from the Indalo Veta to also grow in their journey from the previous year that we have been supporting them, and give an opportunity to grow in the program as well. So as we launch the second cohort in the second part of the year, we'll be looking forward to supporting some of the enterprises that were in the cohort of the Indalo Veta program. Of course, the program is not closed for other people who were not in the Indalo Veta. We will still open it to others. It's a competitive process. So it's not that if you're in the Indalo Veta, you automatically make it. But we continue to provide mentorship support to the 15 enterprises that we have been walking the journey with. The video has shown just how much of the work the enterprises have put in. And this is not even the complete video of the Indalo Veta. It's just the first 7 beneficiaries that we managed to do the recording before the symposium this year. We continue with the impact journey, and we'll be continuing with the videos to have a full 15 enterprise video at the end of it. So I hope that, you know, some of our partners who are in the room are also seeing the great work that they're doing and would look at where they can support the enterprises as well. So as we acknowledge our beneficiaries this evening, I hope that that will give you an opportunity also, you know, an exposure for people to see the work that we're doing. And of course, we are grateful to Nedbank for being there to walk the journey with us as Indalo. Thank you so much, and I hope that you enjoy the evening. We are now going to be moving to the interesting part of actually acknowledging the people that we have gathered because of this evening. And those are the people that are making impact in our communities, going all out to make sure that they tackle unemployment, poverty, climate change to make our country a better place. Thank you so much. Enjoy the evening.
Thank you so much, Vivian. One thing I will say about Indalo, right? If it's one thing about Indalo, they will track impact, okay? So for as long as I've known Rest and the team, even before when there was still Seed, before they became Indalo, if you want to track impact, if you want to know what is happening, they are the team to do it. And it's always great to see the videos of the people who come through the programs and where they started, where they've gone, and just how the little or big interventions go a long way in supporting them on their business journey. Before we go over to acknowledging our recipients this evening, I'd like to welcome one of our partners just to share his words of support. So please welcome to the stage Mr. Lance Van Dijk, and he is the chairman of the Nedbank Foundation.
That's very good. Thank you, Tsiki. Good afternoon or good evening, everybody. Nice to be here. I have a formal speech, but before I get into that, I thought, let me firstly acknowledge our entrepreneurs. You've done an awesome job. I really, I've been speaking to some of you today and just looking at the seed funding that you've received and how you've managed to transform that into something really significant. So a big hand from Nedbank to all of you. And then there were some really interesting comments as well from the youth. I really enjoyed this localized funding conversation, and I'd like to explore that a little bit further. And then also the African funding agenda, because as Nedbank, as you know, we are involved in the Africa regions as well, and we've been, as the foundation, partnering with our African countries, and I think there's room there to explore how we can partner further in that regard. So with that said, let me take off my glasses so I can read. And just say, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, partners and participants, and if I haven't included you in that rather broad welcome, then forgive me, but know that you are also part of that. In 2021, Nedbank awarded Indalo Inclusive South Africa the contract to implement the South African Green and Inclusive Enterprise Award and Support Program. The program aims to support innovative entrepreneurial solutions and contribute towards sustainable climate change solutions. Its key focus is on initiatives that alleviate poverty, unemployment, and inequality, specifically as it relates to agriculture, energy, water, and waste. Those are the foundation's key focus areas as a matter of interest. Earlier today, you heard from our executive head of the Nedbank Group Foundation, Mr. Puvi Pillay, in which he pointed to the rationale behind the strategic direction we as Nedbank have chosen in this regard. So I'm not going to elaborate any further on that. It goes without saying that there's a close correlation between the foundation's strategy and the work that you, our entrepreneurs, are accomplishing through the Indalo program. Those involved in initiatives of this nature, whether as corporations, government and state-owned enterprises, and not-for-profit organizations, appreciate the road to success is laden with good intentions laid bare through a lack of support. This support not only being given at a financial level, but also through the skills and expertise of competent mentors. In Indalo, we have found a partner committed to our mutual objectives of building conducive environments for businesses to grow and to thrive. Since September 2021, with the first phase kickoff, the program has awarded 750,000 in grants to its recipients. The next phase, aptly called Indalo Grow, was launched in January 2022 and will support enterprises through capacity building and financial support. A second cohort will be launched in the second half of the year with similar objectives. Overall, we expect the program to support 30 green economy enterprises in various areas of our country. And like it's been said a couple of times already, we're keenly interested in the rural economy, and we are also interested in women-led enterprises. As an individual and as a Nedbanker, I'm extremely proud of the accomplishments that have been shared today. As a single point of reference, climate change and its impacts remains one of our key challenges, and as citizens of our planet and as fellow countrymen, we need to take cognizance of that. At Nedbank, we believe in the importance of crucial connections at crucial times. Our belief is that through efforts such as these, we will see a transformed economy built around our common goals and values. None more so than the connection we see today in our relationships with the Government of Flanders, our own government in the form of the Department of Forestries, Fisheries and the Environment, the Climate Innovation Center, the African Center for the Green Economy, the Wilderness Foundation, and ourselves, and of course, that's just to name a few. It is therefore an honor and a great privilege to stand here today in the company of a great representation of our common humanity to recognize this year's recipients of our awards. Thank you very much.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I want to say, maybe I must come have a chat with you after this, but I've been a Nedbank client since you guys had the SpongeBob cards, like since back in the day. So it's nice to see you guys doing great work and having impact. So when you think about an innovator, what comes to mind? Do you think about a person that does things differently? Do you think of an Einstein brain that can pick something out of the unseen and come up with an epic algorithm? Or do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as someone who can look at the world a little different, come up with something a little different, and with a lot of or a little effort and time and commitment, make a huge difference? Our Indalovators are people who have done just that, and they have the title of being innovators because they've seen those gaps, they've identified something that they think they can do to add value, and have gone out to do that. So in the order of awarding agriculture, then water, then waste, then energy, we will be giving out our awards to the Indalovators for today. And first up, to help me in handing out the awards, I'd like to welcome to the stage Mr. Stephen Null from the IDC to give out the awards to our agriculture entrepreneurs. So please give Stephen a lovely round of applause. So as Stephen comes up, just to work through a few logistics, so Stephen will stand on that first, maybe on this, in the middle over there. Thank you. And then the entrepreneur that wins the award, obviously you'll come up on that side, and then you guys will obviously shake hands and whatnot, but then please pause for a picture, right? Like, look at this lovely gentleman over there. If you went to the picture's been taken, make sure he can see you, because then the camera sees you and you'll look great. Okay, so our first recipient is, and then also the whole team can come, so not just the founder, but if the squad is here, the squad is welcome to see the picture. Okay, so first up, and this award goes to Nga Foods Pty Ltd. And I'm sure your food is mwah. I feel like we should find a station so I can taste this food. Have you had the food? Oh, there's a food station, guys. Please go to the back. The lady waving over there, that's the Nga food station. Please go check them out. And please, once you've taken pictures, don't be shy. Tweet, Facebook, Instagram, @Indalo. That's a graphic. Okay. I love it. Make a logo you can make with your hands. It is not. Awesome. Thank you very much and congratulations to you. Stephen, don't leave. We have a couple of sorry, Stephen. collectively. There's a lot of people to award in this category. The next one for this category is Delta Raptors Farm. Congratulations. Fantastic, congratulations. Our next winner is Liungo Organics. Rest is like, let's have the ululation, let's have the cheers. Yes. I love it. And our next winner is Murimi. Welcome. Congratulations. And I must say, if Rest was presenting the awards, he knows every single founder, every single business, every single backstory of all of them. So he would give you the 2-minute sound bite about what each business does, what they've accomplished, where he met them, what they were doing when he first met them. We don't want to be here until all of tonight, but Rest will give you the sound bite if you want to know. Our next winner is Intel Minds. Congratulations to Intel Yes, congratulations. And then our final innovator for the agriculture businesses is Bomunu Farms. Congratulations, and I must say, as a fellow farmer, I am so happy to see all the ladies in this group. Awesome, thank you very much. Okay, we're going to take one more picture, but please do keep clapping while we take one more picture, because it's nice to have the sound of a round of applause as people receive their awards. As I wrap up that picture, our next category is looking at the innovators within the water sector. And to hand out the awards, thank you. Thank you very much, Stephen. And then to help me pass out the awards for the water sector, please welcome to the stage Nangam Sotole, who is from the WWF. So please give her a round of applause. Okay, and then this is the fabulous lady we saw in the video with the water purification system out in, I want to say Gianni, right? Okay, great. So just Lupura Water, congratulations. I'll just say, for this category, she's the only person who's here in the room. So can we ululate a little louder? Maybe applause louder. Congratulations. Did you bring some water for us? Can we go buy water at a stand somewhere? Okay, please go to the back. There's a stand there. Don't leave without buying a bottle of water from her. And then in absentia, I must just check, is this a J or an I? A J or an I? Tafa, okay, cool. Tafa Spring Waters, they are not here in the room with us. I think they may be joining us virtually, but we want to acknowledge them in absentia as well. So thank you very much, and thank you so much. That's all for this category.
And then our next category is the Indalovators in the waste category. And to help hand out the awards for that, I'd like to welcome to the stage Tabile Zulu from Nedbank. Please give Tabile a round of applause. And our first Indalovator to win in this category, or to be awarded in this category, is Boomba.Mobi. I think maybe you need to take a step that way a little bit so you're nicely inside the banner. Yes, perfect. Congratulations. Cool. Congratulations. Our next recipient is Putukolo Business Investments. Right at the back, please give her a wonderful round of applause. And we can keep the applause going until they get to the stage. Let's see. Let's see how good everyone's breathing is. Congratulations. Awesome. Congratulations to you both. Our next recipient is Anisoptera Pty Ltd. Congratulations. Congratulations. Our next award recipient is Ikamva Recycling Waste Management. Congratulations, thank you so much. Our next recipient is Shiko Gweni, Pty Ltd. And I hope I said that correctly, yes. Congratulations. Don't be shy, you can have more music, please, right there. All the cues you can find. So, and these are the last of our recipients from the waste category, so please give them all a wonderful round of applause. And we've come to our last category underneath the Indalovator. And for that, I would like to welcome Rest Kanju, who is no stranger to anybody in this room, from Indalo Inclusive, to help hand out the awards for the entrepreneurs underneath the energy sector. Cool. And the first recipient in this category is REM Technologies. I feel like the crowd should match her energy. She definitely came up here as her own Beyonce. Another ululation for the lady with the wonderful dress and the epic shoes. Thank you. Our next recipient is Haya Power.
Can I ask Zetu to come and give this award? Let's clap hands for Zetu, please. So I can tell you a story. Zetu, please come give this award. Please come give this award to Zetu. Let's clap hands for Zetu, please.
I think the moral to getting a lot of noise when you come to the stage is an entourage.
So let me tell you a quick story while they take pictures. So Nick and his partners and his wife approached us and wrote emails, and I ignored it because you see how his thing is complicated. And I went like, here's another white man asking us for stuff that I don't understand. So Zetu understood this thing and she pushed for him to be part of a small program that Lindiwe runs called the Climate Launchpad. And that program doesn't give any money. We just identify entrepreneurs, and because what is important sometimes is not, you say, this is what Zetu was saying. Okay, I must stop it. But anyway, kudos to Zetu for identifying high power. They have now been also nominated in the part of a global accelerator called Climate Launchpad globally, and they are speaking to DBSA, and they are speaking to IDC, I think, very soon for the big money, right? So,
thank you so much, Liz. Are you okay?
I'm good. Must I go?
You can go.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much to all of our Indalovators. Please give all of them collectively a wonderful round of applause. I think it's really nice to see all the businesses come up here because you get to put a face behind just an idea, right? And it makes you realize that everything is just an idea. And if you have a person who's willing to put in the work, you can end up on the Indalo stage, but also we're in a room of connectors. So you really are in the right place. If you're looking for the plug, you know, talk to Rest, but then also talk to one other person so they can remind Rest that you spoke to him, right? I think that's the message we got from that one. Okay, moving on to our Indalo Grow entrepreneurs and awarding those in this particular category. Firstly, we're going to go agriculture, waste, energy, and then water. And to help hand out awards for the agriculture sector, I'd like to invite to the stage Tabang Pacho from the Department of Forestry, Fisheries, and the Environment. Welcome. Cool. So our first Indalo Grow recipient is Bomunu Farms. You should have seen her face. She was like, me? Cool. Congratulations. Awesome. That's our only recipient for the Agriculture Award. So thank you very much. Much appreciated. For the waste section, I'd like to welcome to the stage Mr. Lance van Wyk from Nedbank to help me hand out the awards for the waste sector. And our first award recipient is Khanyisa Mawetu Foundation. Are you here? Khanyisa Mawetu, yes. Congratulations, guys. Smile for the camera. Please don't forget to Instagram and tag us, please. Well, whichever social media platform you use, please at Indalo Inclusive, hashtag Indalo Inclusive. Yes, one more. Okay, then our next award recipient for this category is Greenway Africa Pty Ltd. Yes, congratulations, guys. I can't sing, but I almost want to go like rock boys in the building tonight. Congratulations, guys. Can you have a wonderful round of applause? Great. Thank you so much. Congratulations. And then for our next category, which is energy, I'd like to welcome Farai Marao from Indalo Inclusive. Farai, there she is, to help me hand out the awards. Please give Farai a wonderful round of applause. Cool, and our first recipient for this category is Ufro Sane Pty Ltd. Awesome. Congratulations. Please give the gentleman a round of applause. Great, and then that's all for this category. And then our final category is water, and I'd like to welcome Murendi Mafume from Kusini Water to help hand out this particular award. Please give Murendi a wonderful round of applause. You can definitely come this way, no worries. Awesome, thank you. And then we only have one recipient in this category, so please give a wonderful round of applause to Jeslu Pure Water. Awesome, thank you very much. Please give all of our Indalo Grow entrepreneurs a wonderful round of applause. So part of my job is to keep us on time, to make sure that the program runs and that we wrap up on time. And so I'm going to ask Rest to come up to give the closing remarks. And as I ask Rest to come up, I also want Rest to remember that please help me do my job to keep us on time, okay? But jokes aside, Rest and the team do so much wonderful things behind the scenes to make sure that these programs run, that the entrepreneurs are found, and that we do make great impact. So please give Rest a wonderful round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. I don't know why I keep on coming back, but I really enjoyed my colleagues. Thank you so much, Vivian. Thank you, Zetu. Thank you, Farai. Thank you, Natania. Thank you, Lindiwe. Where's Judy? Thank you, Judy. Nandipa, Travis.
And an inclusive
Where's
green
Travis?
economy while addressing
He mustn't abscond work.
challenges of poverty,
So thank you so much. Can you, sir, please come back with my bags quickly, please? So I make sure I keep time. It's quite exciting to see some of the members of the enterprises. Well done, guys. Let's give the enterprise a round of applause again. I also want to give credit to people who are helping us with the video documentaries and other things. So yeah, thank you so much.
That's when the idea came to that a mass of
One of the things that for me, I always say to the enterprises is the following.
and create more jobs for the youth.
If you're part of us,
we contribute
you are married for life.
green economy.
There's nothing like a divorce.
We
What we don't
convert
promote
them
is serial incubatees.
Siakia Awards program could
We can
actually
never,
help
that's why
us
some of the
to
criteria that
expand the
Vivian is
business.
saying is,
We are operating
to be
on
part
a
of us,
small
you
scale
must not be
in
more
my
than two,
hometown.
have more than
So
two
with the Siakia
incubation programs
Awards
with you.
program funding, we
Promote that you
moved
must,
to our bigger
we
site,
encourage that
and
you
now
must
we are
actually
able to save
sign up to other
more
programs,
waste seekers,
but
and
not more than two,
created
you
jobs
know. Because at
and
some point
two
you've got to start
permanent
selling,
jobs for the youth of my community.
You've got to start
I would
making
like
money.
to thank
You
Indalo
come in and getting grant money doesn't help you with
and
anything.
Nedbank for giving us
Because
the
we've got
opportunity
people, I must just tell you, that are sitting here in this room. They may not come to you,
Hi,
but they've
everyone.
come
My
to
name
us
is
and
Linda
said,
Divine
give us some
Maruyani,
good stuff,
and I am the founder of Just
right?
Pure Water.
Please go, don't bother them if you don't have any
in
good thing,
Giyani, Limpopo
right?
province.
So
here in
IDC
Giyani,
is
the
sitting
biggest
here, they are
problem
great
is that
partners
we do
of
not
us.
have clean
And someone
water
at
to
IDC
drink
was sending me a
water.
message
And I
and
took
go
it
like,
upon
huh.
myself to become a
You see
solution
this?
to the
We like
current
it.
problem, where as social
I won't say
enterprise,
much.
we believe in the
So
needs
all
of
I'm
the
saying
people,
is,
and we believe that this business
the stuff we
solves
say all the
the
time
social
and say, go
problems
back and
we
work,
currently
and when we
face in
start
the
shouting at you,
community. Currently,
do
we
not
are
despair.
established and we are
Make sure you go back
purifying
and work
water
because
reselling the water in
there's
bottles
IDC
and also doing
and
refill
there's
as well as
Nedbank.
deliveries. What's unique
There
about
is
us is that
other
we
people,
purify
other
the
banks, I
water
won't
using
mention their
Macadamia
names
nut shells that
because
have
we only
been
mention
crushed and we
Nedbank.
turn them into fiber. I was fortunate to be selected
Right?
as part of the
There's
Siakia
government, right?
Indalo
There was a
Veta
government
Awards
official here
program,
today.
where I
I
received
won't mention her
further
name also because I've
funding
been asked
as
by
well
the
as
bigger office
mentorship, and I
not to
was
say
able to start up the
anything.
business.
They are
Currently, we've got
waiting,
2 employees,
right?
and, we are looking
And they're
into
just
setting
looking
up
and
an
watching and
Australian
wanting to
shift.
see
There
what
are
goes
many
on.
surrounding
So the
villages
truth
where
is,
they have serious,
it's up to
serious
you. You
water
decide
problems.
now,
So our goal as a
I didn't
business
get this
is to
now,
make sure that we
whatever,
reach
and you
this
start
community.
and
We wanna
not doing
deliver
much.
the water
It's your
where
business.
we have got
Bye-bye.
a bigger tank,
But
making
if you
it
work hard,
accessible for
we're
the
going to have a
people.
good story to tell about you. So anyway, can I just ask
My name is
Mr. Van
Mrs.
Wyk,
I'm a
Tabile,
co-founder and COO
Tsiki,
of Pumba Mobi.
uh,
The company is
now,
based
you've
in
already got into
District.
my bag,
I
so it's
looked around
okay.
in my area. In
you
every
can-
open
you can see.
space,
You
there
got
was
my
illegal
bag, right?
dumping. either
back,
you
yeah.
know, building rubble, garden refuse,
And
food waste. So
Brandeni,
me
please
and
come.
Siso
Brandeni, please come. Stivovo, please come. Steven, please come. Who am I missing? People who came here. Am I missing anyone? If you know I'm missing you, but no, don't do that because I might just ask you to sit down. I need to remember everybody. Who am I missing from people who are handing out? Right, Nicholas is gone. That's all right. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Let me start with Ntsiki. Thank you so much. It's always such a great moment to work with you, and I hope we're going to be doing some great stuff soon. I'm hearing whispers, by the way, that we are going to Egypt with our new youth entrepreneurs, Connecting Africa. Yeah. I'm hearing stuff from Nedbank, interest in Africa, British High Commission.
These are good things.
I'm getting excited about that. And Jay, must I whisper that Top Gear is interested? Yeah, Top Gear is interested because we're driving from Cape to Cairo to the COP. So we're excited about that. So that's Ntsiki's baby and other people that are here. So thank you so much, Ntsiki. Let's clap hands for her, please. Thank you. Tabile, thank you so much. So I must tell you, Mr. Van Wyk, that your team and your colleagues are doing well. So Tabile, one of the things that she grilled us on was the M&E. I thought I understood M&E until I met Tabile. And I then began to understand it even better. Very patient. And so we are going to come back. So the whole triple bottom line story that we talk about, right? That triple bottom line thing, but well, we're coming back, real targets and real stuff. We want to see that, right? Because if we don't see it, you must know that Tabile is sitting on our neck. And we want to be able to do that. So Tabile, thank you so much, right? Mrendeni, that's not Mrendeni. That's not Mrendeni. So I always want to give context, and I'm going to close just now. We're doing exciting stuff. So one of the things that we're beginning to look at, as Indalo, is to look at entrepreneurs that come through our system and begin to work with them. So, the guys we took to the Eastern Cape, Nick with High Power and Kosi and Dave Lelo and Brendan, came through our system. And we're beginning to say, how do we then impart your skills to other young emerging entrepreneurs? So we're doing exciting stuff with Kusini Water, exciting stuff. So if you see Jeslu Water, the system that she runs on is from Kusini. And they support her. We put in resources there. We've got a beautiful program in Witbank that it's been set up there. That just gets this to get working. We've got something coming up in Escort in Jazz Castle. Very beautiful stuff that's coming there. Water from a spring, and we're bottling that with glass bottles, and it's going to be quite exciting.
I must tell you, Vivian is standing behind you.
Okay, good. Yeah, thank you. Stivovo and Mtunza there at the back, and Stuart and everybody, Sonia at IDC, thank you. Thank you very much. We always have fun working with you, and thank you kindly, Stivovo. Mr. Van Wyk, you are last, because I really want to thank you. From yesterday or a few days ago when we started talking on the phone, your comprehension, and your involvement, you can't say that you are a chairperson of a board. You are quite involved, and I love that. And thank you so much. We appreciate it a lot, and I look forward to more engagements with you. So I was speaking to Joshua and some of the colleagues at Nedbank, that there's just so much synergy that we need to create, and opportunities exist, and we should basically do that. So thank you so much. Vivian.
Thank you. You can come stand here.
No, I'm done.
Yes, you are done, so you can stand there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to all of our partners on stage. Please give them a round of applause. A quick picture.
just make sure I'm slim, right? I must be Mrundeni's size. All right,
Thank
good,
you.
thank you. Guys.
Okay, thank you so much. Rest, you can please stay on the stage. Please stay there. Yes, thank you so much. And then just, if you are here, please go to the back and connect with the team from Kanye Samawetu Foundation. And she did say the bags were $350. Yes? So if you want to buy a bag, buy one today. If you want to order one, please order. And then we'd like to take a group picture. So can I please ask for all the Indalovators and the Indalo Grow Award recipients to come? Do you want them to come with their certificate? Yeah. No, okay, no certificate. Just please come up to the stage so we can take a group picture. Rest, you can just anchor yourself there in the middle so everyone can orientate themselves around you. Remember, it's like a class photo in school, tall people at the back, shorter people at the front. If you guys can come to the stage quickly so we can take a picture, and then we can wrap up very nicely. Thank you. We can definitely have some music. And if you are family, friends, business partners in the room, please do take your cameras out, point them at the stage, make a boomerang, make a video recording, whatever it is that you'd like to do. Get your cameras ready. Yeah, you must definitely stand in the back. Yebo Baba. Rest, I think you need to come to the middle row because there are taller people. So I believe it was, I just want to kind of get everybody to look at the camera, to move in closer as the different camera people direct you. And then just to remember, we have 2 cameras that are taking pictures. So just because the one has flashed doesn't mean both our cameras have taken the picture. And then while you guys are standing here, can I please just ask Nedbank to come and join the picture? Okay, there's a demand for one more picture with everybody and your craziest, funniest, bestest face. Well done, everybody. Congratulations. Okay, cool. Please give them all another wonderful round of applause and ululation. Woo! Well done. In the dick. Okay, great. So we are officially a wrap. I would like to share a quote with you by Zig Ziglar, and he says that you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start in order to be great. So congratulations to all of our entrepreneurs for starting. We wish you well on the rest of your journey, and we salute you for the wonderful work that you have done. To those of you who have joined us in the room today, thank you so much. This was day 1. Tomorrow we continue. Today was day 2. Tomorrow we continue with day 3. So please do be back in the room again tomorrow for, what time are we starting? Cool, so please be here by 8:30 and register so that we can start at 8:45. And we won't send you home hungry. So if you go back to the deck where we had lunch, there are drinks, there are snacks, there is food, there is nibbles. So please go down there, network, connect, meet people, take pictures, hashtag Indalo Inclusive, hashtag Netbank, @Indalo Inclusive. My name is Benzim Kize. Thank you so much for joining us today, and have a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Guys, there's a misplaced phone. If you've lost the phone, you've got to tell us your number so we ring it. Yeah. If it's, is it yours? Oh, okay. Tell us the number. It's got flowers and something at the back.
Guys.
Mina mashele la. Ni munhu wa xikoxweni.
This one is Matata. You think you want to watch it?